Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is James. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my favorite chili recipes. Now, due to the fact that I don't have all the ingredients with me because I'm in Spain, I can't get all the ingredients that I normally use. I'm going to show you an alternative to what I normally make in the US. Now, this chili recipe is an extremely easy and flexible recipe again, so if you want to make a few changes to it, you can easily do that by adding either chicken to it, or even if you want to make it vegetarian. Before we get going today, be sure to like my video down below and to subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. For the ingredients, I'm going to be adding 1 medium onion, 2 cloves of garlic, a stick of celery. I'm going to be dicing a few tomatoes as well. I'm going to be throwing them in. I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce, about 400 grams of navy beans, and if you have kidney beans, you can use kidney beans as well. If you're using dried beans, I suggest that you soak them beforehand to decrease the cooking time. Otherwise, you're going to be cooking for well over an hour. I'm also going to be putting in some beef stock. If you have chicken stock, that's okay. Or if you want to make this vegetarian, you can add some vegetable stock. I'm going to be adding about 2 teaspoons of cumin, or about 2.5 teaspoons. If you want a little more, you can add more. I'm going to add some oregano as well. I'm also going to be adding about a tablespoon of pimenton, or red chilies. If you have a mild chili and it's not spicy, you can add a little more. It just gives it extra color. Typically, I add hatch chilies to this, but since I'm not in New Mexico, I don't have any hatch chilies. But pimenton will work very well. I'm also going to be adding about 400 grams of ground beef. And like I said earlier, if you want to make this with chicken, you can easily add chicken to it. And if you want to make this vegetarian, you can omit the beef for more vegetables and more beans. Now, if you want to, for the celery, I mentioned this in my last video, by the way, on the lentil soup. There's a stringy ligament on the celery that you can take off if you want to. You take a paring knife or a small knife in your hand just like this. You insert it at the end and you peel back, and you can see all this is something that is very tough, it's stringy, it's not something very pleasant when you put it in the food. And it's on both sides, not just on the back. And for the tomatoes, I'm just going to dice them. I'm going to de-seed them though by cutting off the top, cutting them in half. And I also mentioned this in my last video, but you can take out the seeds by using a spoon if you want. You take the spoon in your hand just like this, and you can break the bottom piece and pull out, and it gives you a clean tomato. And from there, you can easily cut, and since it's easier to cut on the inside than it is on the outside, I suggest cutting on the inside. Otherwise, unless your knife is extremely sharp, it's not going to break the skin. If you're using canned beans, remember to give them a rinse before you use them to wash off all that residue. But if you're using dried beans, remember, like I said earlier, to soak them beforehand, half a day or the night before, because it will dramatically reduce the cooking time when you're making the chili. And once you have all the vegetables cut, you're going to get the pan, like always, nice and hot. You're going to add the oil. You're going to saute the veg until they're pretty much cooked. Then you're going to add the meat. You're going to cook the meat, add the spices. You're going to add the tomato sauce. You're going to reduce it, and then you can add the chicken stock. Now, the beans you're going to add at the end and a little later, after you add a bit of liquid to it, because otherwise when you move them in the pan, you're going to be crushing them, and we don't want crushed beans. Also, if the chili is a little too thin, you can add some tomato paste to help thicken it up if you want it thicker. Once you bring it back up to a boil, check the beans, see if they're done. If they are, be sure to taste the salt. If you want to add any more spices or herbs, you can feel free to experiment with the recipe. And also, if you want, this is common for us in the US, but we typically put sour cream when we eat it on top of the chili, and then we also have some cheddar cheese with it and a few other assortments. Here, since I don't have any I don't have cheddar with me, I'm gonna use some manchego, but since I don't have any sour cream with me, I'm gonna have to use some Greek yogurt. It's actually a good substitute if you want to try. Anyway guys, be sure to like the video down below and to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.